Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth is bringing us some new types of products. You know, set boosters, collector boosters. With this one, we're getting collector boosters. Give me just a second to thank our Patreon for helping us on our road to doing this as our full-time jobs. And when we get back, we will have a discussion about all of the different products contained in MTG Lord of the Rings.
Highest level of gratitude to our patrons who power the channel through Patreon. Check out the Patreon link in the description to learn about monthly giveaways, VIP Discord access, and even our official playmat.
That's a real thing now. Each Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth special edition collector booster includes the following: 5 rares or mythics, 5 uncommons, 4 commons, and 1 land.
Okay.
These cards feature evocative artwork celebrating Lord of the Rings, expanding the ways you can show off your love for the story. Don't care. Special edition collector boosters do not contain serialized cards, including the soul rings and the one ring. The soul rings can only be found here. The one card has been printed with the one ring, and this card can only be found in English language non-special edition collector boosters. Non-serialized cards are mechanically identical. And that's all they've told us so far. All right.
Okay, that's it. It looks different. So we see that.
It does have different art, because that looks like the Witch King, and the art for the Witch King is not that.
Yeah. Okay.
It can't just be alternate art, dude. It can't just be alternate art, because these also don't release. These release on November 3rd. So these don't even release in June like the rest of the set. And so I don't...
Well, that's... Okay, well, that's kind of weird, too.
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to be like... I know that we had you spend all your money on the Phyrexian stuff, and then on the Lord of the Rings stuff, and Commander Masters, where, let's be honest, that's where most of our money's gonna go. That's where most of the...
Well about that is it's going to be a big set, so it's going to be different, and we know that we're going to be getting big reprints over there. So yes, you're going to have players that are going to look to move in on cards when they hit all-time lows from that set. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, Josh P has a good point. Says no serialized cards of any kind means we can print the crap out of it.
Yep.
So I mean, maybe these just exist.
We don't FOMO into this.
Not non-serialized stuff. Not non-serialized stuff. Even singles. I'm like, what's the point? If you're just going to show off a bunch of new art, you know, at the end of... What's these? These release November 3rd. Yeah. So if we... October, we're going to start getting a second round of Lord of the Rings previews, and it's just gonna be, look at all the new art on the Lord of the Rings. You can't buy the serialized in here, and the one of one ring was already found by Post Malone. Who'd have thought?
I'm still firmly in the SCG finds it, but we'll see.
I mean,
okay. So are you getting kind of like aftermath vibes from it? What are you thinking?
I don't know. So this is what I think. This is Josh's point is, I think, really good, because it seems to me that they go, okay, we're going to pump serialized all throughout this, and we're going to do the one of one thing for the first time in this. If and when that gets pulled, prices go way down. Plus, we can't print anymore than the original run of the serialized set, because it's just going to be, we won't have any more to run. You know, we can't just keep printing and be like, oh, we're done with serialized. But if we do second versions of all of the art, like Second Breakfast, and we don't serialize any of this, then we will be able to sell it continuously, plus potentially make more money off of it later. I mean, this could go two different ways, man. This could be like a big dud, nobody cares, Or it could
True.
be very like, Eldraine Christmas Wonderland lands. Nobody bought it. Nobody buys it. And so if you want this version of Witch King, gotta buy the single, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's true. Which print run will the 1/1 ring be in? Well, we just confirmed that it's going to be in the regular collector box. That's where the serialized stuff is going to be. It's not going to be in this product. But as Joel was mentioning, for people who don't really care about that, maybe this is a possible way to go. Especially if you are going to like different art, which it implies that it's probably going to have some different art here.
So while we're talking about new and wacky types of products, I mean, the Collector Booster Special Edition, that's all we know at this point. It's a lot of speculation. Let us know what y'all think it's going to be. What is your speculation on exactly what the hell we're looking at here? But while we're talking about brand new, wild and wacky products that we've never seen before, scene boxes. If you've seen the Lord of the Rings stuff, they're doing these scenes where art carries over from card to card and you can put them next to each other and go, oh, I guess. Here, they will be selling them, and these will be sold in that November release of Lord of the Rings so that we can sell them to the grannies to give to the kids.
All right, so you're getting 6 scene cards, 3 set boosters, 6 art cards, and display easel. I think this was smart, the 3 set boosters, because you're going to have a lot of people who, when they know exactly what they're getting, they're going to be less excited about it. But the thought of getting a couple booster packs in there as well might entice people to make the plunge.
I like the display easel. The boosters are fine. It's a nice little toss in. Yeah. But I think that this is actually kind of cool, and I'm fairly interested to see which of these scenes I like the best. Like the Gandalf in the Pelennor Fields, that's pretty sweet. That's right there at Minas Tirith.
King Slow says, we sell cards, not accessories, but here's a display easel. Funny company that has, bro. No, I mean, I actually, I think it's kind of cool. I think for the collector, I think what this shows us is, because this is the first time, or not the first time, but this is a major push with an extremely popular IP. So they're just going all out with different types of ideas and kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall to be like, well, what all is going to get absorbed by people and collectors? I think that the box that we were just talking about, the collector edition special box, this may just be a way to get more people, another wave of people to buy the same thing who might not know the difference, or might think, well, I bought that other collector product, but this is a new one. I guess I'll buy it. You never know. There's so much different product that it's like, yeah, just go out and buy something.
It's unbelievable how many different versions of a single card there are now. It's just, it's like we have just, we were in the pot of water and it has slowly boiled. It is just crazy to consider. Back in the day, you want a Snapcaster Mage? There's the Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, you got to open Innistrad. And then if you do find it, you're either going to find a normal version in the rare slot, or you're going to get lucky and you're going to find a foil version.
Very rarely you'll get a foil version.
Yeah. Yep.
Very rarely. And now it's just insanity. Looking at these scene cards, I gotta say, look at this, Jake. It's behind chat there. It's hard to see right here. So this is the scene that is on these things, is what I'm seeing.
Now those cards,
are those I don't think these are actual cards. That's what I'm saying. I think these are just literally art cards. They're basically selling 6 art cards,
which are essentially what you would get if you opened a pack of a set booster and you get the art card out of a set booster. And it's,
I mean, look at this.
Right?
This one highlights it the best for me. So if you look at this picture right here that's on the box, look at the box art and divide it mentally into 6 pieces. So we cut it in the middle here and then go shoop shoop, and you got your 6 individual pieces.
Shoop.
Shoop. You go shoop, and then you go shoop, and then shoop.
Yep.
You don't with this one go shoop deoop. On over here,
got it.
You've got
don't do that.
No shoop deoops here. You've got the Witch King. Okay. I can see that is a playable card. Down here, you might have like an instant or something. These people are like, grabbing their ears, and this person is like holding up their sword. So maybe like maddening scream. And you got Gandalf, but like right here, what is this one?
Yeah.
This one
Lightning
is just
bolt.
called Storm Clouds.
Yeah, some storm clouds. A castle, and then there's something.
This is actually a famous one. But then, so it's strange to me. I mean, right here, maybe the weapon.
Everybody in chat is going to be like, he called it a castle. He just called it a generic castle.
He just called that a castle? That is not the castle. That's
There are 16 cards and 6 art cards.
Oh, yes. 16 cards. So maybe they are cards. Maybe they just look weird.
Oh, so the scene cards are something that you can use.
I guess so. Yeah, 6 art cards and the display easel. 6 scene cards.
Okay. So the scene cards are like, this is just, it's another thing. It's a completionist product. It's supposed to kind of
there is no completionist anymore, Jake. Completionists,
I know, but for
home.
Somebody who might want all the Lord of the Rings stuff, it's a Lord of the Rings thing to buy.
It doesn't make sense to be a completionist in Magic the Gathering anymore. I mean,
no.
For instance,
it's an impossible task.
Impossible.
Yeah,
Absolutely
you would actually
impossible.
No, you know what? I think if you had, for example, like Mr. Beast and his team, I think you could go out and you could have a team that goes worldwide to get all of the stuff that, you could probably figure it out.
Look at this.
You could probably get everything figured out.
Missouri MTG on Twitter. Good follow if y'all want to look at some MTG finance stuff. Card purchaser,
is this the dream of every Magic the Gathering collector? I don't know if it is.
But the thing is I saw this earlier today. Jeremy talking about he was purchasing a complete set of every Magic the Gathering card ever printed and the booster boxes that go along with each set as well. I don't think they went all the way back here, but just a bunch of these. I'm talking every card or every complete booster set, every Judge Foil, every Secret Lair, Commander deck is in there, Beatdown, Anthologies, Guru Lands. He said everything.
Everything.
And he said, yes, they're all unsleeved, including the Gurus.
Wow.
So I, in my head, went, wow, if you had this is the best possible time to hit the eject button. Because trying to do this through Phyrexia All Will Be One, through March of the Machine Aftermath, through March of the Machine and Aftermath, now through Lord of the Rings, and we're not even to Commander Masters. I'm assuming this is one of every single thing. Wow. It made me think of it when we were talking about completionists are dead, because this is incredible.
Well, think when every new set comes out, right? Now you have to get 5 or 6 different versions of certain cards.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
With Elish Norn, you got 25 different versions or whatever that you have to find.
You got to have 6 different charts and an expert to break down all of these different things. And if that's a completionist set, art cards and the art cards that are foil stamped, that's pretty consistent now. And that's even before we get to Commander Masters later this year.
Maybe the ring is why they sold. They were like, I won't be able to get the serialized ring.
Can't.
Done.
Right.
Done. They're like, it's impossible. I'm out. They're like, I can buy one of the serialized of each of the serialized 500. It's like, I can make that. Yeah, all right, we'll make that an achievable goal. But then it's like, well, I can't guarantee that I find the $1 million ring or whatever it's going to go for. Honestly, there's one card that we should talk about, and it's an important card, and we talked about this show, but we don't have to go over and talk about the card, but briefly, there's the LeBron James Logo Man card, which did sell for over $1 million. And so when you think about it's, I believe, the triple Logo Man. Yeah, so this card was found, and it was in like a box break. Like if anybody's ever over like hanging out on Rip and Ship, or anybody who's opening cards and stuff, it was just like a backyard box break, and somebody found this card that's a 1 of 1, and it sold for 2.4 million. And so when you think about, this is a basketball card for one of the greatest basketball players of all time. This is the only one that exists. I think it's got three different versions of logos on it, so it's really cool. But for a final sale price to be 2.4 million, you had people like Drake that were going after this card.
Yeah, I was going to say,
lot of eyes on
interesting
it.
part of the story is that Drake spent $200,000 trying to find it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, and there's a great show on Netflix.
It's the logo from Cavs, the Heat, and when he played with the Lakers. Yes. Wow.
Right. So you could see how like a collector would go absolutely apeshit for this. So I don't think the ring gets close to this.
No.
But with the overlap, and you can kind of see what Wizards of the Coast is trying to do. If something like this is happening, they're trying to create so much hype that it's like, man, if they got their TCG $1 million card, that goes up there with stuff like Tyler the Great Warrior, which sold in Yu-Gi-Oh!, which was a 1 of 1 Make-A-Wish card.
Right.
It goes up there with just crazy stuff that's super difficult to find. There's the old Honus Wagner, which is the baseball card that's like extremely old. And
all those ones you covered in the video.
Yeah, exactly. We covered a bunch of cards like that. And we'll link that video. If you are watching a cut of this in the future, we'll go ahead and link that video.
But all they're trying to do is cash in on that. They're trying
they're trying to have like a big money card, in my opinion, where they could be like, look at what we did, Oh,
100%. 100%. Yeah. The only thing, and this goes back to me talking about how could they do signatures? Well, they put them onto World Championship cards. And so you've got a card like this, 2018 World Champion Javier Dominguez. They have him come in. They have him sign it in, gold Sharpie right here, so it's an actual signature on the card.
That would be cool.
And they certify it. Maybe it's part of being serialized. They have the serialized stamp on there, because you also don't want people to just be able to take their fervent champion and take it to him and be like, yo, sign this. They have to also stamp it on there somehow.
Well, I think what it would be is, you put 500 of them, you serialize them, and then his signature, he would get those and then sign all 500 of them. And that would be just something that he does that day or over a couple days, whatever.
Right.
And then those cards get seeded in.
Yuta
I think
Takahashi.
That would be a good way to do it.
This one just came out in March of the Machine. Thank you, Matt. You inset the signature somehow, because the thing is like this uniforms, I just can't think of how this is able to be replicated in MTG. But signatures, easy peasy. A lot of different ways we can do that.
Yeah.
Have Elijah Wood come through and sign 40 copies of Lord of the One Ring. And so you can then
say, I'm never doing it again. It's like he's under contract to never do it.
I think you have to inset them somehow.
Oh, okay.
You have it. I mean, look at how these are like in the actual card. And cards like this, if you've ever seen one of these cards in real life that's got the uniform piece or like some of the dirt from the field, or there's a bunch of different versions of stuff like this.
Thick in the pack.
Exactly.
It's like it's just its own thing. It's like, yeah.
And so
I see what you're saying.
They would potentially be able to do something like that. It would have to be in a box set. It wouldn't be in, the same kind of thing as just a regular booster like this 1 of 1 ring is.
Right.
But I mean, it just keeps going crazy, y'all. More products. There's basically 2 releases of this Lord of the Rings thing. But you also got to think, this Lord of the Rings thing is pretty enormous for them. This is them showing other brands, here's what we can do. Here's the hype that we can bring to your IP through our IP. They've done, you know, they've gotten the one-offs in Secret Layers with you know, Stranger Things, Walking Dead. But I think that was just like proof of concept. Like, how do we tier this up? Okay, next we're going to do Commander decks. Let's do 40K. Let's announce that we're doing Doctor Who. Now let's do an entire set with collector boosters, special versions, chase serialized, one of ones, 2 different release times. We're going to do June release. We're going to do November release. We're going to have we're going to have the craziest card that we've ever printed in the modern age, a 1-of-1 card. We're going to do that the first time. I mean, now the door is open. Now the door is swung wide open. They've kicked it open. There's only 5 of this card in this set. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think in a lot of ways, like, speccing cards is dead. I just wouldn't even do that anymore unless you have a really good reason to think something's going to do well, or maybe it's a one card that appears in the rarest, the top of the stuff, or something like that.
Cyborg 39, nailing it, dude. Exactly. Commander boxes, just like you see here, just like you see on the shelf at your local Walmart/Target, that have the main commander serialized in there, and they sell it for a little bit more, so you maybe can pull a serialized version of the commander in the commander box product.
Oh, right.
1 year away from that. Somebody write it down. We are 1 year away from that.
I fell for it and bought a Lord of the Rings collector box for $500. What have I done?
Kim,
God, are they really at $500?
I think Lord of the Rings has kicked the door open. They are going absolutely balls to the wall with everything, pulling out all the stops to take the next steps of variants, of scenes, of serialized,
of stuff, just in general stuff. Tim, what's going on? Thanks for hanging out.
I mean, 2 jump starts. 1 jump start in November, 1 jump start in June. The scene boxes, the collector boosters.
The collector boosters. They're the special edition collector boosters.
And that's all just in November. Why even talk about the serialized rings, right? There's 9,900 human soul rings. There's 7,700 dwarven soul rings. And there's 3,300 elven soul rings. The 300, the 700, and the 900 are the double rainbow foil serialized versions. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The elven double rainbow foil serialized soul ring, that thing looks pretty sweet. That is the one I'm the most attracted to here. The dwarf one's fine to me. The human one's fine to me. But this is if we're going to play attractive, not attractive, this is attractive.
I love that they have done this. The serialized card aside, telling us how many of the other card we're getting that isn't serialized.
Yes.
That helps build FOMO. From a business standpoint, that to me, knowing that if I get one of these other things that isn't serialized, it's still rare. If I get an Elven Soul Ring, I know that there's only 3,000 of those non-foil, non-serialized that exist.
I agree with you.
That's cool.
It is very cool just to know print runs straight up.
Yeah. Knowing the print run straight up. Why not? Because now you have people that are like, well, F it. I don't care. If I get one of those cards that there's only 9,000 of them, that's sweet. Before you buy, make sure that you look up all of the different articles, all of the different charts.
A couple of creators, YouTube videos.
I would say definitely, like, I'm going to do my best to get all of the different websites in the description of this video if you're watching it in the future. But yeah, you should definitely go through and make sure collecting Lord of the Rings, what is the best way to go about it? Make sure you know your product. Those are my parting thoughts.
My parting thought is, this is Jake trying to explain to me where the one-of-one serialized ring can be found. This is Jake telling me...
This is
So
me
you gotta
just trying to
understand, there's
navigate
only
the product.
9,000. They tell me there's 9,000 human serialized rings, but I go, no, they're not serialized. That's 900. 9,000 non-rainbow, non-serialized rings. We got 7,000. Dennis, we
Oh my
got
God.
7,000 non-serialized, non-foil, dwarven soul rings, and we got 3,000 elf ones.